We could be teetering on a lot of trouble right now, gang. Look at the technicals, and I want you to use your own judgment if you see what it is that I see. D7 here with Grok Trade, and we're looking at the weekly charts. First, we're looking at the ETFs. I've been trading in the live markets almost 30 years using technical analysis. I'm an award-winning stock mentor, former with Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, and a number of other brands. And I want to share something with you. We're looking at the Spider ETF weekly chart. Every bar is a week. Now, here's what we're teetering on. Now, guys, really pay attention to what I'm going to share with you. We have uptrend that barely touched this upper trend line. It drops. You can see it dropping here. Increased volume on the sell side. We find support here for a couple weeks. We go below these moving averages. And then Friday, last week, big drop. Do you know Friday, the markets dropped 1.5%, 1.6%, 1.6%, 2.2% on the Russell 2000. Financials were down the most, 2.4%. Major sell-off on Friday. One day, major sell-off. That brought in a ton of insecurity, a lot of confidence getting shaken. Big drop, but look at this. We're at a major support line. This trend line is to be respected. Now listen, gang, can we bounce from there? Here's the problem. If I look down here, I got the histogram, I got a red tick, bad news. RVGI, bearish, going down. RSI, going down. We have Harsey, red, going down. We have a lot of things against what we should be seeing on the bull side. Here's what I'm saying. If we crack this next week, chances are we're going to break this. And if we break that, man, this is going to be slippery dickory dock, straight down the clock, gang. This could be a major pullback taking place. However, what's interesting is I'm not seeing any capitulation taking place. Huge volume at the tops here. Because of that, I'm not saying the top is in place. All I'm saying is we're seeing significant weakness in the markets. Don't let that be lost on you. Looking at the Diamonds weekly chart, you can see this. We broke major support levels and we are dropping below moving averages. We got a crossover in the MACD, a red tick on the histogram. Everything looks bearish if you go here to the Qs. Look at the Qs, guys. If you look at this, not nearly the damage of everybody else, but it's a rising wedge. We hit resistance, we're dropping, and the dropping volume is bigger than the buying volume. And will this drop lower? It certainly could. We don't have a red histogram tick yet. That's interesting. Russell 2000 weekly chart. Let's take a look. That dude's in trouble. I mean, we broke this a few weeks ago. We tried to come back 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then this week, we just come crashing back down. And we got a red tick on the histogram. But something I want to point out to you. Do you see how the RVGI is starting to sway in our favor? Do you see how it's starting to come together a little bit here? That is of interest to me. Let's look at the financials, see what it says to us. Financials says, no way, we broke a major trend line, bad news on good volume heading down. And if you look down here, no red tick yet, no red tick. RVGI is starting to come up. Do you see this? So that's telling me if this thing were to rally back and we have a big rally next week, gang, that tells me that's going to be a jab and look for a major rally to the upside going into the near future. Isn't that of interest? So let's go over here to the dailies, because the thing I want to share with you guys, look at this. The daily Spider, we have bullish divergences. I don't have candlesticks here because I want it to be really easy to see. Lower swing lows, higher swing lows. Do you guys see that? That tells me we're at a support line. Support line. Look for buying to take place. I could see Monday, Tuesday, and going into the future. Wait until my monologue at the end, man. You won't believe what I'm getting ready to tell you. Diamonds, you look at this. Lower swing lows, higher swing lows on the MACD. Bullish divergence. That's bullish on the dailies. And if you go here, NASDAQ, bullish on the NASDAQ. Let's go to Russell 2000, lowers, higher. Look for this to go up, and we're oversold right now. Oversold. If you go to financials, that was the Russell 2000. Let's go to the financials. Look at this. Lower, lower, higher, higher. All good. Looking good. US dollar, I want to show you something. We broke over a trend line. You can see this up here. Broke over a trend line. If it comes back down, that would be a jab, and this could drop and drop fast. Now, that would normally be pretty bearish for the markets for this to be so strong. But if it were to come back in, that could get really bullish and quickly for the markets. If you look at gold, gold's already starting to rally up. It broke all sorts of resistance points. Look at that. That's on the weekly. That is really good to see. It needed to do that. But we're at major resistance and a falling wedge. But this falling wedge is more bullish than it is bearish. Bullish divergence, lower lows, higher lows, gang. That we could break out on this on silver, which is very, very good. VIX is creeping higher, guys, creeping higher. So I threw a lot at you in a really short amount of time. It doesn't cost you anything to give me a like. If I earned a like by giving you this information, give me a like. It doesn't cost you a dime to do so. Thank you for that. In the last video you ever see from me, if you don't hit subscribe, you can always unsubscribe. It's better to subscribe and later unsubscribe opposed to missing out on this level of education and information. This is monologue time. Now, if you guys don't care about me droning on and on about other things, about my personal life, you can get lost right now. I'm glad to have you. Glad you guys could be a part. For the rest of you weirdos that have nothing better to do than to listen to me drone on and on, here we are. Guys, guess what? I got picked to be a juror. Let's go. Now, I know that sounds crazy. You guys, probably studies would show that 98% of all humanity do not want to be on a jury. I always wanted to be on a jury. Never would get selected. This is my second time here in Tampa that they called me in 2 years. Once a year, they can bring you back in. I went there last year, sat there all day. They never even select my name. This year, they selected my name. Not only did they select my name, they pulled me back in with 27 other individuals and then questioned us. And when they questioned us, I was one of 6 that they picked on a civic, not a criminal. Let me know, would you like to be on the jury if you could? Or have you been on jury? And if you did, tell me your experience. I want to know. Now, I can't tell you anything about what court I'm in. I can't tell you anything about it until afterwards. So next weekend, it should be done, and I can talk about it. Subscribe. I will tell you about what it was. It's a major deal, okay? Major deal. And so it's very interesting. So I know if your jury, would you do it? Yes or no? And why? That would be helpful to know. And if you were on the jury, what can you tell me, please? Any tips to, what? Because it's going to be all week long. It's going to be a long time. And anything you could tell me that would be helpful. So for the rest of you guys, I did a Bitcoin class Saturday live on YouTube. And every Saturday, I think I'm going to do a Bitcoin thing. I'm going to make the assumption that you don't know anything about Bitcoin. It's about what Bitcoin is and how to get started with Bitcoin. Pretty successful. I'm looking to do that each Saturday and at least here for a while. So feel free to keep tunes, and I'll probably be doing it at 10 a.m. on Saturdays, Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. So feel free to jump in and be a part of that. So very interesting times. It's frozen tundra season here. I mean, we're here in Florida, and it got down into the 50s. You would have thought we got hit with like a blizzard. I'm telling you, you can't make this up. The HOA area where I'm at here, they said, hey, make sure you open up cabinets and put drips on your thing. It was getting down to like the 40s, and they're telling us to have drippy faucets. Man, I'm from Indianapolis. You only do drippy faucets when everything's freezing. We're not even close to freezing here, and they're telling us to hoard food and everything. Floridians are crazy. But anyway, and so the question for you guys, I know there's a lot of ice out there, and man, my prayer, let me just say this. If you're dealing with ice, let me know what type of ice you're dealing with and how much snow. You get more snow than usually at this time of year. And for you guys in California, I think one of the states that we have the most followers here at Grok Trade are from California. Our hearts go out to you guys that are burning down, man. That is no bueno. Very sorry. Prayers go out to you. Prayers, man. I mean, I hope that you're safe. I hope you're getting through this. as a Floridian who just gone through just a horrific year of hurricanes, man, it's no joke, man. It's life-changing. So, man, I really hope that you guys are safe. If you are experiencing it, if you have seen it, let some of us know in your comments what you're experiencing. What does it look like? What has happened? Have you sustained any damage, or do you know somebody who has? Very interested in hearing that. So love you guys all. I hope this was worth a like. Give me a like if you haven't done so yet. I really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. And listen, if for nothing else, I didn't put any Google ads on this. Give me a like for that. So take care, guys. We'll see you. Bye. Guys, why are you still here? You just watched my video and now you're still lingering around. Might as well be with you now that I have your undivided attention. Listen, if you haven't done so yet, I highly recommend putting in a foundation of trading, your foundation of trading through a mentor. For learning to fly a plane, you wouldn't just go through ground school before you start flying in the friendly skies. What you would be doing, though, is going up first with your flight instructor. Same thing if you're going to learn to ride a bike, you better have somebody behind you helping you ride a bike. Surgery, you're not going to read a few books and do heart surgery. So every principle and with being guided by a mentor, let finances be this. If you are a trader, you from amateurs to professionals. Mentoring will do that for you. Anyway.